Well, hello, everybody. Welcome. Welcome to The Quest for Truth. Your host, Corina Pataki. And I'm so glad that we are able to bring you another very powerful live show today. If you are hopping on right now, welcome. I know we're going to have much more people hopping on as the show continues. So I want to say welcome to all of you that are watching us right now, that will be joining us live or that will be joining us after. You guys, today we have yet another incredible live show, and I have the honor today of introducing a remarkable Romanian researcher whose work has impacted countless of people, both inside Romania as well as around the world. Marvin Atudorei is an engineer and holds a PhD in political philosophy, and he's widely respected for his deep investigation into Romania's hidden history, the Bucegi Mountains, and other extraordinary mysteries that Romania has been trusted with for tens of thousands upon thousands of years. Now, Marvin has served also as president of the North Aligned Countries Forum in Romania. He is the founder of Geopolitica Romania, and he is also the author of several very important works on the politics, geopolitics, as well as the global power structures. Marvin has lectured at major international forums, as well as events hosted by various embassies. Now, Marvin is also a member of the Professional Union of Journalists in Romania. You guys, not only is Marvin a dear friend of mine, but what makes Marvin so unique is his ability to bring together the geopolitical atmosphere, the spiritual atmosphere, and the ancient Romanian history in a way that makes it very clear, very accessible, and absolutely captivating with proof. His insight into Romania's true role in the world, both political and spiritual, for this moment in time, are very profound. So without further ado, I'm so honored and I feel so blessed to have with us today my dear friend, Marvin Atudorei. Marvin, welcome.
Hello, Corina. Hello to your audience. I'm very honored by your presentation. Maybe you said too many things, too beautiful many things about me. I'm doing what I can in order to bring the truth to the people.
Yeah, no, thank you, Marvin. You are so humble and so incredible. You guys, Marvin is extremely humble because he is everything I said and then a lot more. I was so fascinated, Marvin, when I first saw you. I saw you when Sasha Stone went to Romania, and you guys, I was so intrigued and fascinated and touched by the way Marvin was handling the subject that Sasha was discussing, because, for those of you that know Sasha, his vocabulary is so vast, and the things that he brings about was quite new, Marvin, for Romania. And yet Marvin sat there and translated Sasha word for word, exactly the words of Sasha, nothing substituted, and that's very hard to do. And I was like, oh my gosh, I got to meet this man. I had the honor and the pleasure to meet you, Marvin, when I went to Romania and to be interviewed by you, which was such a huge honor. And then we built a relationship, and now you're back for the second time with us. So I'm so excited that you're here. And today we're going to have some fascinating, deep subjects. So Marvin, let's jump in and see. Let's talk about these books that have taken the world by storm, which are Romanian books that have been translated in English by the author known as Radu Cinamar, and they're called the Transylvania book series. So Marvin, I know a lot of people that are reading these books, or people maybe that have never heard of these books. So let's start there. People that have never heard of these books, can you kind of give an insight on what they are and why they're important?
Yes, thank you very much, Corina. So these books are very special because they are a kind of initiation in some mysteries. I mean, of course, you can read these books as sci-fi novels, fiction, but if you are pretty well informed about some fundamental things in mankind, you very fast realize that there are many fundamental truths in these books, and you start making correlations. And we can discover, reading this book, that it is like a path for understanding what is happening in the world, and not only in political realm. We can hear things like this every day, but in a more occult, esoteric fashion. And this level of um, information, I mean, very high quality of information, is very rare. I mean, you cannot find it. I read many books and I had TV shows with many guests, and I can tell you that very few, I would say nobody else. Of course, Sasha Stone knows many things and some others, but
Yes.
very few people have this level of accuracy to understand so well some not only spiritual things, processes, but to go deeper in some information regarding technology and the deep history of mankind, a very ancient history, hundreds of thousands of years. So, of course, you cannot share this kind of information only by reading from some books. It seems that the author, Radu Cinamar, has some other ways to get information from secret services,
Mhm.
part of zero department, how it's called in Romania, and also with some paranormal activities. So I'm aware that these things could look shocking for some of your audience, but reading the books step by step, you realize that this really makes sense. I mean, it is absolutely possible.
Yes.
In a way, the books are addressing to different type of people. Some people which are not familiarized with this topic can read it just like this as a sci-fi novel.
Mhm.
But when people are well informed, they suddenly realize this is not sci-fi. This is some very hard realities that are put in this form in order to get to as many people as possible. Because if you write such a book like a report, scientific report, people have the tendency to reject. And they always ask for the evidence. Show me the evidence. How can I believe that this is real? Maybe it's just your fantasy, your imagination. But I told you, when you have some information, you realize that it is much more than this. And I would like to underline one more aspect. This manner of presenting the facts is actually, as I said in the beginning, like an initiation.
Yes.
Because when we look around in a spiritual fashion, we can realize that even God Himself acts the same. I mean, if God would like to force us to believe in His existence and in His miracles and in heaven, he would give us some evidence that would absolutely be overwhelming. He's not doing like this. Like this. He has patience to put every one of us in a scenario in order to understand which our own modalities. Some people understand very fast, very easy. And some others, they believe that there is no God. Everything is how you can manage the life. If you are very smart, you can steal something, maybe kill a lot of people, and you have everything you need, you desire. But after many years, maybe you can realize that there is a karma, and everything has a sense.
Yeah. You guys, this is the book that the first book of the series, and there are 7 books. Marvin, right? 7 books.
Yes, I have it in Romanian version. If you think it's useful.
Yeah, sure.
Because maybe can be shown a bit better. So the first book is called in Romanian Viitor cu cap de mort. That means a future with a dead skull.
Mm-hmm. And this is again in English, and you can find it on Amazon. You can find all the books on Amazon.
Yes.
So Marvin, one of the things that the books talk about. So for our audience, welcome for you guys that jumped on. We have Marvin Atudorei all the way from Romania. And actually, Marvin is going to be one of the speakers in Nashville in our Disclosure Summit in Nashville, October of 2026, with, Elena Denan, with Kathy O'Brien, with Jason Westerfield. We have George Lewis, and of course, Tony Rodriguez. So we're so excited that Marvin is going to also be one of the speakers, and he's going to bring a lot of proof and insight of some of the subject matter that we are discussing today. So for those of you, by the way, the tickets go on sale January the 1st, Karen, right after New Year's. Yeah, January the 1st. So be on the lookout for that. Very exciting. But now back to this discussion. Marvin, the books describe a hidden chamber beneath the Bucegi Mountains with advanced technologies, holographic tables. And so what is the significance? So let's dive into the details, especially of the first book. Oh, yeah, there you go. Your microphone.
Just a few seconds. I want to make a kind of preparation for this book. Because I am aware that for many people, if we jump directly in the subject, in few seconds, they would say, wow, this is too much for me to believe. It's just a fantasy. It's not possible. So I would like to underline that the mankind is controlled with psychological operations, with mind control.
Yes.
Operations, MK Ultra. I'm aware that your audience is familiarized with this
MK Ultra, yes,
approach.
yes.
But the continuation of this, what we notice is that people live in a kind of hypnosis, and there is a process of cognitive dissonance. And until we do not understand this process, it's almost useless to go forward in our discussion. And I want to give some examples of this kind of cognitive dissonance.
Yes.
We had a few years ago a very clear example with this so-called pandemic, COVID pandemic. So there are a lot of evidences that it was artificial. And their narrative that the so-called vaccine is safe and efficient, it was absolutely bullshit.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just psychological operation in order to make people to go take the shot.
Yeah.
So this was an example. Another example, the pyramids, the official narrative says, were built by the slaves of the pharaoh. So 20 years, they took stones and they put on the pyramid in an absolutely astonishing fashion. And now we cannot do this anymore with our modern technology, but the slaves did it. So people are accepting in universities, in schools, they are accepting this narrative because they are brainwashed.
Yeah.
So many times they heard this on TV and in the school, so they accept it. 9/11 was made by Arab terrorists. This is another cognitive dissonance. I'm not going into details. The revolutions, the Arab Spring, for instance, all the revolutions in Middle East were made by population. They were very angry of dictatorship, and no, they were made by CIA and some other organization, Soros. Another cognitive dissonance. There is no life after death. When we die, everything is over, and there is no other dimensions. When we end here, there is nothing else beyond. We don't have other structures in our being. I mean, aura or bioenergy. There is no such thing as aliens, ET. No, this is the official narrative. We don't have any evidence for this. That's it. We are the most advanced and the only civilization that appeared here on Earth. There is nothing else. Even if we discover artifacts, we cannot explain, but this does not mean anything. It will be very much related with our topic. I'm going to give an example from our history. We had a war with the Roman Empire, and in the year 106 after Christ, the Roman Empire, they managed to conquer a very short territory, a very small territory of Dacia. About 14%, so less than 20%. And still, the official narrative pretend that all the Dacians were conquered, and all the Dacia was huge. They abandoned their language and their ancestral tradition. Even the historians in the antiquity, they acknowledge that the Dacians were the most brave from all the Thracians and the most numerous part of the Thracians. So this is absurd, but still they pretend this. So in official narrative, we don't have any connections with the language, with the writings, with their technology of the Dacians. We Romanians appeared as a people 150 years ago. Wow. This is absolutely absurd. So I gave you some examples of false narrative that the officials are imposing, and people all around the world, most of them, they admit as a fact because they are brainwashed. So now, with the people that can understand that there is a truth beyond the official data, we can talk about the books of Radu Cinamar.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful, and that's so true. Cognitive dissonance has been a tool that the dark ones, the nefarious ones, have used just to brainwash. You know, we have Project Mockingbird, created by the CIA. You know, so things like that, especially to take control of the mind and block us in an imprisonment of lies, illusions, and matrix that they create. So now with that, Marvin, let's jump into, and if you guys that are watching, welcome everybody that's watching. We have Marvin with us. We're going to be speaking on some of the information from the Transylvania book series that some of you have heard about. Some of you, maybe you have not. So we're going to discuss that. Why is that important? Why is it relevant? Why are we discussing it? Why are we discussing the mysteries that are found in modern day Romania? Now, why is that important? So Marvin brings information and proof. So Marvin, let's go ahead and jump into what
Okay, so I will present some basic data for each book. The first book, I have it in Romanian, The Future of the Skull. This is the first book, and it is about a very special character, Cezar Brat. And this boy was born in 1970 with huge paranormal powers. And I'm going to make a break here. And I want to tell you that this kind of children were a lot mentioned, for instance, in China. In 80s, there were a lot of articles in their newspapers in China, and they admitted there are thousands of children with paranormal powers. They even made an institute to study these children. I wrote an article about this, and I documented some journalists and writers from United States, from Western Europe. They went in China in order to document these cases, and they were absolutely astonished. I mean, people with telepathy, with teleportation, with telekinesis, so absolutely mind blowing. And such a boy was born in Romania in 1970, Cezar Brad. And even from his birth, people were amazed because his umbilical belt was extremely tough. They could not cut it with a scissor. And it was obvious that something is very unusual with this child. So he was very close, watched by secret services, and he started to manifest some huge paranormal capacities. For instance, absolutely amazing memory. Even if he is hearing an information, a poem, whatever, he memorized from the beginning without any mistake. So he can reproduce all the text extremely easy. I mean, he is not making any effort for this. Also, he had a huge capacity of going inside, to abstract from outside reality, to go inner, in meditation, in concentration. And he could stay like this hours, many hours. And some of you, if you try to make a meditation, you know how hard it is to keep the mind focused. But to stay from the beginning in your early childhood, so many hours, it's absolutely unusual. Also, he had the capacity to make the so-called dedublare, so to get his consciousness outside the body and to visit some places not necessary in this world, in other worlds too. And he was very intelligent, very profound in understanding, and at the age of 10, he managed to get the capacity of levitation. So he gets in air, in thin air, to stay in thin air. And his parents was absolutely terrified about all this, and they announced Securitate, the secret services that were monitoring the child, and they came very fast and took them from his family, and he never saw his family again. So that was in 1980. So he became part of this zero department in secret services, specialized in work with paranormal children. And this department was led by a Chinese doctor, Dr. Xian, and it was a governmental settlement with China for 15 years. 100 students are coming in Romania to study, because in that period Romania was one of the biggest power of the world in many fields. I am not going into this topic now. And this was the arrangement. Dr. Xian, who was very skilled in training children with paranormal powers, was at the leading of this department, and the 100 students in China were allowed to study in Romania. And,
Marvin, just 1 second, Marvin. Let me jump in here.
Yes.
For our audience that is watching now, or you may be watching later. So what Marvin is describing and what these books are about, you may be sitting there going, why is this relevant? Because as you will see later on, as we're getting into more of the details in the show, the discoveries that were discovered in Romania it holds the information for all of humanity. So why is this relevant? It's relevant because it's not just about Romania. It's not just about a character that is known by like Cezar Bran. It has to do with the bigger picture of the mysteries that Romania holds. She was entrusted within her bosom, if you will, with very, very specific mysteries. It's the human genetics. It's information that has to do with humanity, awakening humanity to who we truly are. So that's why this is so relevant. It's so important. And if you guys remember, I was in Romania alongside with Marvin, with Elena and Dr. Michael Sala, and Elena and I were able to engage our consciousness to penetrate this incredible lab that's underneath the Sphinx. Romania has a Sphinx as well, where there is so much hidden information that the evil ones, if you will, are trying to keep away from humanity, away from us to know the truth of our makeup, of our history, in order for us to awaken to the fullness of the abilities that we were created with. So that's why this is so relevant for us to understand. And so, Marvin, with that, please continue, because I just wanted them to know, to get a feel of why we're discussing.
Yes, I was going to get this point of view. I mean, it's not about Romania, only about Romania. It's about the entire mankind. But I want to prepare the audience. If I am telling this directly, I told you it is the possibility that some people could say, well, I cannot believe this, it's too much.
Yes.
So that's why I want to make small steps. Mm-hmm. So in 1980, Cezar Radu was taken in the secret services, and he was very skilled. And after another 5 years, he had a talk with a very special priest in Romania, monk actually, Arsenie Boca. And this monk had paranormal powers too. And he told Cezar that you are going to have a very special role in the future. And it will be for the benefit of entire mankind. So let's see what is about. So in 2012, Cezar, he was already the technical director of Zero department, and he was contacted by a very special character, member of Bilderberg organization. It was a Freemason, one of the top leaders of Freemasonry, and his name was or is Massini. And this Freemasonry of the top told Cezar that, look, the Pentagon in the United States discovered that you have in Romania a very special structure in your Bucegi Mountains. So we don't understand exactly what is this, and we want to make a proposal for you. We are going to show you some data, and in order to go there and to see it's on your territory of your country. And if you accept, we are going to take you in Bilderberg organization, and you are going to have everything you wish. Money, social position, everything. And Cezar pretended that, well, it's an interesting proposal, let's see.
Yeah.
So he was smart.
Yeah.
And this structure in Bucegi has three very special characteristics. First is that the tunnel does not start in the how do you say, in the border of the mountain. It starts inside the mountain. So how can you manage to go there? Because you don't have a door or something, an opening. It was just inside the mountain, the entrance. Very strange. Also, another characteristic, the structure is absolutely artificial. It's not a natural formation. And they discovered this with some geodesic espionage with some satellites, geostationary satellites, and they can understand the structure beneath the earth.
Yes.
Inside mountains.
Yes.
There is this technology. So this was the second. The structure is artificial, is completely horizontal, plane, and it has some angles in 26 degrees twice. So it enters like this, then an angle, then another angle of 26 degrees. They could not explain this. And the third characteristic is that this structure has two energetic barriers.
Yes.
And some shields of energy. So even if you carve in the mountain and you get to the entrance is protected by this energetic shield.
Yes.
And you cannot enter if you don't pass this shield. And they started to drill in the beginning to avoid the energetic shield, but they noticed that they cannot penetrate with every technical possibilities, with plasma, with mechanical devices, anything. They could not penetrate the tunnel. It was something so hard, so strong that it was impossible.
Yes.
And then they choose. It was the only possibility to carve at the energetic shield in the entrance. And it was a dramatic event there because some of the soldiers of the army, it was both from United States and from Romania, they wanted to see what is the situation with this energetic shield, but they were getting too much inside the shield and they were killed, absolutely killed. And they made some experiments. They throw some objects through this shield, and everything was dematerialized.
Yes.
So it was a very strange situation. They did not know what to do, but the solution was Cezar Brad.
Yes.
What did he do? As I told you, he has some paranormal powers, and he made a kind of resonance tuning with this shield. And because he is a very elevated, evaluated person, consciousness, he managed to make this tuning, and in a special way, the shield accepted Cezar. So he could enter through the shield and put the hand on a special place, like a square with a triangle inside, on the mountain, and the gate of the tunnel opened. And what they found there after they go to this tunnel in two angles, it was absolutely astonishing. At the end, it was the second shield. It was a kind of aula, a cavity, and inside that cavity, it was, and it is, the projection hall.
Yeah.
So this projection hall has some very special devices. It has 10 tables, 5 on one side and 5 on the other side, with holographic projections. Depends on the field you are interested in, medicine, in biology, in history, in spirituality, whatever, 10 domains. And also there is a special platforma that manage to amplify or even to materialize the thoughts. So it's absolutely amazing. For instance, if you have thoughts, I want something to be here, that can, and you know, the Montag project also had this kind of device. There are also some control panels that can manage to control the environment, the water, mountains, tectonic plates, not only in Romania but in other countries.
Yeah.
So this cavity is like a control room for all the planet.
Wow.
And I can tell you something. Romania is considered by some esoterists to be the Sahasrara of the planet. I mean, especially in Bucegi Mountains, and especially at this location at the Sphinx.
Mm-hmm.
As you mentioned before, this hall of projection is exactly beneath the Sphinx and Babele. Babele is another structure like ancient ladies, translation in English. And in that cavity projection hall, there is another very interesting device. There is a kind of amphora with the so-called monoatomic gold.
Yes.
And this monoatomic gold is something that ordinary chemistry cannot explain, because the atoms of gold are in plane, not in 3D, in 2D. And there is another element not from this planet in this composite of material, in that amphora. And at the wall opposite to the entrance, there are 3 tunnels.
Yes.
3 tunnels. The main tunnel in the center goes through the middle of the earth. The earth is hollow inside. This is another provocation for the one who are not used with this kind of topics.
Yeah.
And there is another tunnel in the left that goes to Egypt.
Yes.
Beneath earth, subterranean, and another one also subterranean, going to Tibet. And this is the end of the first book, as I told you. And now, if you agree, I can say a few things about the second volume. The second volume is this in Romanian, 12 days. A secret initiation in the realm of the gods. So, of course, the title is very, very provocative, but I can tell you something. I am telling the subject very, very straight on. The narrative is full of spiritual consideration, with a lot of explanations in different topics. So, as I said, it is a kind of initiation. There are some seeds in order to awaken the mankind. And you know, there are 2 ways in order to receive these books. One way is with our mind, with this structure of being, which is mind, and we can think that this is only science fiction, as I said in the beginning. But with the mind, if we start making some correlations, we can understand that it is more than this. I already said this, but the second modality to perceive these books is with intuition.
Yes.
So if we resonate with some information code that is in this book, we cannot explain this, but our soul vibrates.
Yes.
And we know somehow that this is truth. We cannot explain with the mind, but our heart tells us that it is true. So depends on each one of people that are reading the book.
Yes.
So the second book, Corina, 12 Days, it is about the fact that after the first book, the author has been contacted by an alchemist.
Yes.
The code name is Eleanor,
Mhm.
and was also contacted by a Tibetan Lama, Dr. Xian. It was exactly the person that were leading the Zero department, but on his Tibetan name is Repa Sundi.
Yes.
And Radu Cinamar, the author of the books, was informed about a lot of things about spirituality, alchemy, longevity. There are people that are living thousands of years. This is amazing. There are also some etheric creations of the mind of a very advanced consciousness that can materialize a being. This is called Idam. And Radu Cinamar saw this kind of entity. And in the book is described initiation in two phases. So the first phase is going through a portal in Tibet with these two characters, Dr. Xian and Elinor, and he met a celestial entity, a goddess actually, Machandi.
Yes.
This entity, this goddess, offered to Radu Cinamar pergament, which some very information data in order to help for mankind awakening.
Yes.
The second phase of initiation is going through another very special place in Retezat mountains, and it was a manifestation of this goddess, Machandi, and with some other people, they all received a kind of impetus, input to acknowledge, to accomplish, actually, to accomplish the spiritual mission for each of them. And the author finds out about the history of our ancestors here in Romania. And maybe many people, they don't know, but Ramayana, the ancient book of India, Ramayana and Mahabharata, it was the way that Rama, an ancient god of the Pelasg, of Hyperborean, he made to India, through India, towards India, because they knew in that period, 12,000 years ago, that this territory will be conquered after some thousands of years by some other tribes, migrant populations, and they wanted to preserve the spirituality. And that's why, and I will show, if we have time in the end of our show, some proofs about this, because they spread the civilization of the Hyperborea and Pelasg and Daco-Daco-Jatians into some other parts of the world. And even the Indian Institute, according to Cambridge University in 1920, they admitted that their ancestors came from this land in the Carpathian arc.
So Marvin, repeat again about Rama. We were talking about. So repeat it again so that
exactly what I wanted to say. So Rama and his wife Sita were some Hyperborean and Pelasg gods, and they had the mission to take the spirituality from this territory and to go with it in another parts of the world.
This
because they
territory,
knew,
Romania, modern day Romania, right?
yes,
Okay,
from
okay.
Carpathians.
From the Carpathian Mountains. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And the author described what he saw in some visions that he had in these initiations, that our ancestors here in this territory had some huge paranormal powers. Because I want to make a short break here.
Yes.
The history of mankind is not linear because actually the reality is not linear.
Yes.
There are some parallel dimensions. In our history, we are in closer contact with some dimensions, for instance, with the etheric plan.
Yes.
And our ancestors, 10,000 years ago or even more, they were very much in contact with the etheric plan. For them, it was pretty easy to contact some celestial entities and even to teleport, to dematerialize themselves and to go in that dimensions. And Radu Cinamar had this kind of visions. For instance, they were making a meditation or a prayer, and it appeared a column of light, white, very brilliant light. And they managed to dematerialize each of them and to go in another dimension. So all our myths and stories, all stories, are full of this kind of information. The main character is able to go in another dimension and to learn some information from some gods, and he came with the big powers, and he was a demigod. These are not fantasies. These are real information that were kept by the wisdom of ancient societies. So coming back to Rama, the author is telling that in that period there were also some very advanced technologies, and there are some proofs in this. For instance, there are still nowadays some traces of atomic explosions in different parts of the world. Even the stone was melted and it has a green color. And this, the scientists said, it is not possible with the fire of woods. It is possible only with thousands of degrees temperature Celsius. And this obviously shows an atomic deflagration. And also, there are some other convergent proofs. In Vedas, there is some writings, for instance, Vimana Shastra, that describes some gods that they were able to fly with some devices that were able to throw some very powerful weapons that were able to destroy a whole city, and it was a huge wave of light, and it's exactly how we know from the atomic experiments. So we can find some correlations. That's what I was talking in the beginning. If we read carefully these books, we can find correlations, and if we are smart enough, we can say, wait a minute, this book is not just science fiction, it's more than this. Okay, so this is in short the narrative of this second book, 12 Days. And now I'm going to say a few words about the third volume, The Mystery of Egypt, the First Tunnel. So the author, Radu Cinamar, is also integrated in Zero department alongside Cezar Brad, and they receive a mission to go to explore the first one of the tunnels.
Marvin,
actually, this
really fast so that our audience can understand. So Department Zero, or Zero Department, is that a branch of the government that was connected to helping children with special abilities, develop them. They're not like the CIA, correct? Because the CIA uses torturous devices to
Yes, of course.
the ability of children. So I want the viewers to kind of get just a little glimpse of that. What is Department Zero and how?
Well, this Zero department has a kind of autonomy. They do not report everything to the government because, especially in Romania, the government is totally corrupt.
Yes.
So you cannot trust in this government. They will destroy everything if they know what is happening there.
Yeah.
So, of course, this Zero department, and I can tell you that I spoke with some people that are connected with this department. For instance, I spoke with two generals, very powerful generals, and they told me that this department existed during communist period in Romania and it still exists now. And I also spoke with some other guys that had some connections with some agents in this department. Of course, everything is very secret.
Of course, yeah.
You cannot trust 100%, but as I said, you can make correlations.
Yeah.
And when you find out that things make sense, you become more careful.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so let's go back to the third volume, The Mystery of Egypt. So this tunnel to Egypt was the last one that was made by this civilization. I did not mention until now that this whole complex of tunnels and secret cavities was made by a Syrian civilization.
From Syria.
Tens of thousands of years ago, from Sirius A. They were very tall, more than 3 meters high, and they had a very advanced technology. And I explained some of their devices. We cannot even dream now with our technology to this kind of devices. So this tunnel to Egypt was closed 40,000 years ago. The complex in Bucegi was closed 50,000 years ago.
Yes.
And this tunnel to Egypt involves a partial dematerialization when you enter it. I mean, you cannot enter like a physical structure. You need to raise the frequency and to go beyond the plans. You are not exactly in the etheric plan, the plan just beyond the physical one, but you are not still in the physical plan. So it's a paradox here. It's some space-time distortions.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, so the vehicles they circulated there is far beyond with common fuel,
right,
with gas and gasoline and things like this. No, they circulate with atomic fuel at cold fusion, and it was a much stronger propulsion because they cannot make fuel. I mean, to make alimentation with fuel.
yes,
They need something that resists thousands of years.
Yes.
To make propulsion.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so at the end of this tunnel, they managed to enter in a so-called occult chamber. And in this chamber, they found a lot of plates about 20 centimeters high with information, but it was not information like we have on phone. No, at the first sight, you can say this is a common plate. I mean, nothing special.
Yes.
But when you touch in a very specific way, from that plate emerge a hologram. And from each plate, the hologram lasts about 2 days to tell a story. It's a kind of, with all these plates, it's a kind of cosmic memory in this chamber. So
yeah. So it shows information.
Very,
it shows information from our galaxy, and
it's a library from for all our galaxy, yes, and even with other galaxies.
Yes, yes.
So
And
it's
Marvin,
a universal archive.
Yes,
universal archive.
As you speak, if you want Karen to start putting up some pictures or the first video.
Not yet. If you consider, I will finish with this book, and maybe we can talk another
Yes.
TV show about the other 4 books.
Yes.
So, in order to end about this third book, The Mystery of Egypt, this is a chamber with a universal archive. You need thousands of years in order to watch all these metal plates.
Wow.
There is also an anti-gravity platform there, and device that can help you to project consciousness into space-time dimensions. And they managed to meet Jesus in this way. I mean, to see the events, what happened 2,000 years ago.
Yeah.
All right, so now I presented 3 books. The others are extremely important. I'm going to tell only the title of the books: The Secret Pergament. Then it's another book, Inside the Earth, the Second Tunnel. Then it's another book, Forgotten Genesis.
Yes, the Forgotten Genesis. Yes.
Yes. Forgetting. He's talking about how the human race appeared.
Very
with
interesting.
Anunnaki, many connections with Zaharia Sitkin, but many others. With Shambhala, with Hyperborea.
Yes.
Many very interesting information. And the last book is called The Etheric Crystal.
Yes.
I have it here. So this is it. Etheric Crystal. And they managed to build a device that helps to go with the consciousness beyond the physical body and to explore some other dimensions.
Yes.
So it is shocking to find out this kind of information, but now let's see some evidences.
Yes.
And I am going to ask you to put some of the slides. Let's see in the beginning the first video, please.
Okay.
The last great ice age in Europe, which would have, I suppose, ended around 15,000 BC, not 100, 15,000 BC, the ice sheets began to recede. And as you probably know, in Bulgaria and your own country, Romania, slightly to the north of it, that the real ice age in its fullness didn't impact that region of the Balkans. And as the ice sheets began to recede, which had depopulated, of course, the whole of Northern Europe, the language that was spoken in your area, what's now Romania and Bulgaria, and across horizontally into Turkey and into Mesopotamia, that language began to follow the retreat of the ice sheets, both north and south. And that is when the roots of what later became Latin came from Romania into Italy and into all these other places.
Okay, so let me tell you a few things about the person that presented this information. It is Michael Ledwith. He was chairman of the Irish University President's Committee and former member of the governing board of the Conference of European Universities. He is member of a small elite group of theologians from around the world called the International Theological Commission. He was advisor of Bishop of Rome and advisor of Pope, actually of 3 popes. And he is widely known as a very educated man. He had access to Vatican library, and he said archives, and he said something that is very hidden nowadays. That after the Warm Glacier, it was all Europe almost, and parts of Asia and Africa were covered with ice. And in this area of Carpathian Mountains, it was a civilization that they managed to develop very much.
Yes.
It was the Pelasgio and the Hyperborea, the Thracians, and after after the ice melt, they went to some other parts, to India, to Persia, to Egypt, to all the Western Europe. And we are going to see right now a lot of proofs in this regard. So if you agree, let's see some slides. I'm going to comment very fast. So we can see here the Cambridge History of India. It's a paper written by Cambridge University in years 1923. And in the right part down, they managed to find out the territory from the Aryans, the ancestors of Indians, came. So they were aware that their ancestors were not from that part of the world, because in their writings, the Aryans describe some flora and fauna from another parts of the world. And in volume 1, page 68, the one that you are seeing in the right, the text shows that there is only one area in Europe from where the Indians could have come. And that area is bordered to the east by the Carpathians, to the south by Balkans, to the west by Austrian Alps, and to the north by the mountains that connect with the Carpathians. So the exact quote, if you can see there, the original Aryans lived in the temperate zone. They knew with great certainty the walk. Well, it's a long quote, but I'm going to tell only the essence. There is, by all appearances, only one such area in Europe, namely the area bounded on the east by Carpathians, on the south by Balkans, on the west by Austrian Alps, and the Bohmer Wald on the north by the Erzgebirge or mountains, and the mountains connecting with the Carpathians. So there are very detailed explanation here, and they said that their ancestors came 2,500 years before Christ. And there are, I will show some other information. So let's go to the next slide, please. So we can see a map here. Aryavarta is the place in the Carpathian areal, and we can see exactly the mountains that were described in the text written by the Cambridge University. We can see the Black Sea there, and some arrows that shows the spreading of this civilization to India. Next slide, please. This slide shows what Edgar Cayce said. I'm not sure that I can find a quote because I prepared a lot of information. But Edgar Cayce, as you very well know, he had some paranormal capacities, and
Casey, yes.
Casey, yes, sorry.
It's okay.
We say we say in Romania, Edgar Cayce.
Yes.
That's right. And well, he described that the ancestors of Romania were descendants of some deities, and they were telling about the one, I mean, the only God.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I don't find now the exact quote, but at the summit I will present it.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's go to the other slide. There are many information. This is a newspaper in Romania, and they are proving that in Asia there are living 80 million people that are speaking the Proto-Romanian, I mean the ancestor language of Romanians.
Wow.
So if you go there and you speak in Romanian, you can understand what they are telling. And not only in that part, there are many other parts in the world, and they are speaking the language that was before our Romanian nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
Proto-Romanian, let's say. Okay,
Proto-Romanian,
next slide,
yes.
please. So we can see in this very special image that in the territory of Romania, they discovered before the symbol of yin yang appeared in China.
Wow.
This artifacts, and as you very well can see, it was exactly the diagram of yin yang, and this diagram existed on this territory with at least 1,000 years before appeared in China.
Wow, wow.
And obviously, this is a proof that the civilization that formed China left from here, from this period. I mean, it's a rational connection to say this.
So Marvin, just to kind of tie as you continue to show the proof, what you're basically saying, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that when the ice age happened, there was and everything frozen, the people were dying from different regions of the world. There was a space that was surrounded by the Carpathian Mountains where there was a civilization that thrived. So after the ice melted, this civilization in a way spread then through the rest of the earth, and that's where it kind of left from this space. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. And that's why we see the Indians or speaking,
because they took the culture with them. They spread around the world, but they took the language and the culture and philosophy and religion, spirituality with them. And that's why we can find, for instance, at Greece, the deities that were specific to this civilization of Pelasgians. For instance, Apollo, Zeus, Prometheus, Diogenes, and many, many others. And the Greeks acknowledged that these deities were not created by them. It was taken from others, from Pelasgians, that were connected with these deities. Okay, let's go forward. Connected with these deities. Okay, let's go forward.
That's why we find symbols that are thousands of years later, like for instance in China, the yin yang. You find it in artifacts that are found in Romania, because the civilization pretty much spread after the ice melted to the rest of the world. That's why we're finding
this was here. It was the center, and they spread to some other areas with these symbols and religions and spirituality.
Yes.
And we can see some other proofs.
Yes. Okay.
Let's go to the next slide. This is again artifact found in this area of Romania, very old, 7,000 years old, and you can see they managed to preserve the colors. I mean, they were so well done that even the colors preserved. And we can see in the center, again, the yin-yang in a more still is a fashion, but it's the same idea.
Yes.
In Yang, the two main forces of the universe.
Yes.
Next slide, please. Yeah, now we can find another symbol that was used by Pelasgians, swastika. Swastika was found in Pelasgian culture with more than, I don't know, 6,000 years ago. And they had an alphabet. And let's go to, now we can see it's written in Romanian in the bottom of the image. It is from the culture of Turdaș Vincea. It is dated 7,500 years ago.
Wow.
Okay, let's go forward. Again, we can find swastika 2,000 years ago at Jatodesians, some artifacts, some with swastika. It is more stylistic, but it's the same significance.
Yes.
Next. Yes, again, swastika on some artifacts found 7,000 years ago. It is very clear. Swastika was not invented by Hitler.
Yes.
Swastika was a symbol of force, of solarity, of the sun. And of course, Hitler took the symbol from other civilizations, traditional culture, and he used it. We should understand that swastika is a very, very old symbol.
Yeah.
Let's go. Again, Cucuteni, 7,000 years ago, Cucuteni civilization in Romania. Very clear, swastika. It's a fragment from a oală, cum se zice oală?
From a pot.
From a pot, yes, okay. Again, we can see swastika. This is the wife of a very well-known king of Romania, Ștefan cel Mare.
Stephen
the Great.
Yeah.
Yes. The name of the wife, Maria de Mago. And they found the symbol in a tomb with swastika. Okay. Next. Again, in Basarabia, which is also part of Romania, but the Russians, Soviet Union, took this part of Romania land, and now it appears to be another country. And we can see a lot of swastika symbols here. So that means it's a very, very old symbol. Next. Yeah. So our images, Corina, in the left part of the screen cover that the name of the civilization. Maybe you can put it, yes, is better like this. Yangshao and Cucuteni. Yangshao is in China and Cucuteni is in Romania.
Wow.
In Yangshao, they found these pots after it was created this culture in Romania, in Cucuteni culture. But it's very similar. I mean, it's obviously the same source. Next, please. There are some other similarities. You see, Yangshao and Cucuteni. You can say it's almost the same, but the provenience, the origin of this culture comes from Carpathians territory. 7,000 years ago. Yes. Next. This is a complex of artifacts discovered by a friend of mine, archaeologist, and they are called the goddess of Isaiah. And it is a very important discovery here in Romania. It is dated 7,000 years ago. And the symbolism is very deep in connection with fecundity and goddess and the one unique God. Next, please. So they find, of course, it's written in Romanian, but in cave Colibaya, they discovered, how do you say, paintings in the cave, unique in the world, the oldest in all the Central and Southeast Europe. And they are all dated with the carbon-14 of almost 40,000 years.
40.
36, 30, 40, 40.
40, you guys. 40.
40,000
Wow.
years ago. Yes.
Wow, wow, wow.
Yeah, very, very old. And we can see here some very well-known pieces in Romania from our ancient Cucuteni civilization. Actually, Corina, we were together at the History Museum in Cluj, in Transylvania, and we saw the image in the right part of the screen, the Tărtăria tablets.
Yes.
And this is actually the oldest written documented artifacts in the world, because officially the oldest writing in the world is in Iran, in Sumer. But these pieces, artifacts, are with at least 1,000 years older and are dated more than 7,500 years.
And again, we actually got to see them when we were in Romania with the land.
We managed to see. We need special approvals from authorities, but we managed to obtain, and we saw firsthand. I mean, not photos. We could even touch them, but they did not allow.
Yes.
And on the left part of the screen is the thinker. This is the name of the statue, and at the first sight you can consider it's very simple. But when you look closer, you see that it's a whole spiritual attitude there, to think, to meditate, to think at the purpose of the life, or some deep philosophy.
Yes.
I mean, it's not just as you go to hunt an animal with an arrow. No, it's a meditative attitude.
Yes.
And that means a civilization that is used to meditate is very advanced. They are not primitive. Yeah. Actually, in Radu Cinamar books, it is very well underlined this aspect that our ancestors were not very much preoccupied about technology, about wars and political aspects. No, they wanted to be as much as possible in connection with God, in meditation. And they had some, as I said, some special abilities in order to achieve these states of consciousness. So meditation was very important for our ancestors.
Yes.
Let's go to the next slide, please. So this is a very special image that shows real writing in our area here in Romania. And it is considered is writing of Pelasgians. So even 100 years ago, the symbols were still used in Romania, in different parts of the country. But of course, this is very archaic. I mean, they are not writing books or articles in these symbols.
How
Next
old?
slide, please.
How old do you think, Marvin, these are?
So these are maybe, I told you, after Tărtăria tablets, that is almost 8,000 years ago. This is maybe 5,000 years ago. But they managed to maintain this writing with different adaptation until 100 years ago. And the next slide shows that Maria Gimbutas, who was a very well-known professor and researcher in California University, came into Romania from United States in 1970s years, and he made in all the Europe some researchings, and she discovered that she could not find artifacts that show civilization in other parts of Europe, only in Romania. And I mean, older than 5,000 years. In Romania, there were a lot of artifacts older than 5,000 years. But in France, in England, in other parts of the world, of the Europe, she couldn't find anything. And she wrote some books, and she even mentioned the language, the writings of the ancestors of Pelasgians. Let's go to the next slide, because they managed to show a kind of alphabet that make a convergence to Pelasgian, to our alphabet nowadays. So we can see ABC, A is a particular sound of Romanians, ABC. So next slide. You can see the symbols of the letters of alphabet. And this is very, very old writings in this part of the. Okay, let's go forward. It's the same alphabet writings. We can see the evolution of the symbols in time. Okay, next. This is a very interesting image. It shows the correspondence of Romanian roots of the alphabet. We can see in the left column some words in Romanian, like fire, foc. We say in Romanian, and then we can see some translations in Catalan, Occitan, Latin, English, and French. And we can see that there are very big similarities. And the theory that many scientists are telling that is that the language spoken by our ancestors on this territory was actually the primordial language of Europe and for all the Indo-European space. And the language of Proto-Romanians, the ancestors of Romanians, was very special. Why? Because it has its own organicity, its own roots. They did not have to borrow some words from other cultures. They invented the words in accordance, in tuning with nature.
Interesting. Wow, interesting. Yes. I did not know that. So they invented the words in accordance to nature.
Yeah, they invented the language, and because they were very old, and when they left, they spread into other parts of the world, they took with them the language. Yes. But in specific parts, they started to adapt the language to some other culture.
Yes.
But in the ancient versions of English, of French, of Indian, so in the Persia and other parts, we can find similarities, astonishing similarities. And let's go to the next slide. Well, it's pretty small, the letters, but I can tell you that this is a comparative study from Romanian to Sanskrit.
Yes.
And for instance, we can see the significance of some words in Romania. For instance, the first one on the top of left is acasă. So acasă. Acasă means home. But in Sanskrit, they are saying acas. You see? Or apă in Romania means water. In Sanskrit is apas. Or what can I tell you? Calendar in Sanskrit is kali or kala, time. You see, calendar is exactly how you understand in English.
Yeah.
Italian? Okay.
Head.
Camera or room.
Yeah.
Camara. Cap, cap means head. So there are tens of examples, maybe even more.
Wow.
I don't want to insist too much, maybe with some other occasion, but there are a lot of studies with cities. For instance, the city in Romania, Deva, has exactly the same pronunciation in Sanskrit. Deva. Devas in Sanskrit means God. Devas. You see? So the similarities are so many that is far beyond coincidence to
Interesting.
say that it's just a matter of happening.
Yeah.
Next slide, please. I wanted to underline the idea that the culture in Romania was spread in other parts. Okay, what we can see here, there is in the left part of the screen very specific diagram with 7 points. You see 7 points, and we can find these 7 points in the diagram of Shambhala. We can see this diagram in the right part of the screen.
Yes.
Shambhala is the symbol for something that Radu Cinamar described extensively in his books. And Shambhala is fraternity of very evolved spiritual beings that actually came from another civilizations, from another part of galaxy. And their task is to protect mankind. They were in the visible physical realm plan until, let's say, few thousands years ago. There are different interpretations here, but after Kali Yuga started, they considered it's better to cross from the physical realm to etherical realm, and now they have a projection inside the hollow earth in the center of the earth, Shambhala. In the earth has some cavities with some cities under the surface of the earth, but also it has a black hole in the middle of the earth.
Yes.
And that black hole is in etherical realm. It's not in physical plane. And Shambhala is in that dimension, and it's a huge civilization.
Wow.
All right. So you can see in Romanian tradition, we can find exactly this symbol that is found in Tibet or in India with the diagram of Shambhala. All right. Let's go forward, please. In our newspapers, they are telling about huge discoveries in different parts of Romania. For instance, in Santana, near Cluj, in Transylvania, they found the ruins of a citadel 4 times bigger than Troia.
Wow.
Everybody heard about Troia. It's a very famous
Yes.
Greek citadel, but in Romania they found a citadel 4 times bigger and older, with 1,000 years.
Wow.
All this evidence that I am presenting you go to the conclusion that from this part of the world spread a very advanced civilization, because you cannot talk about Troia being one of the brilliant architectures of ancient civilization, and you can find in Romania a citadel 4 times bigger and more and older than Troia. It's no sense.
Yeah.
And nobody is talking about the civilization of Hyperborean, Pelasgian, Trachogeto Dacians.
Wow.
Because, as I told you, the official data is that Romanian people is 150 years old. You see, cognitive dissonance.
Yeah.
They want to cut our connection with the roots, with our spirituality, with our ancestors.
So Marvin, is one of the reasons that they're doing this because Romania holds within, like I said, within her information that will benefit humanity. So are they trying to belittle or take Romania off the let's say off the platform, if you will, make it seem like, oh, it's nothing, because Romania holds such important information
Exactly.
about the history of humanity? Is that why they're doing this?
Yeah, the information held in this territory is extremely powerful because it's not only about history; it is about technologies that are still hidden in these territories. And Radu Cinamar, exactly this is what he explained with the projection, holographic projection hall, and with many others. In the fourth volume, I did not present it yet. He is explaining that the Pentagon discovered some anomalies in Antarctica.
Yes.
And with their devices, they understood that the transformation in Antarctica are actually controlled by something that exists in Carpathians mountains.
Which is in
So
Romania.
on the territory of Romania.
Yeah.
So they were astonished and they could not understand it. It was an expedition and they found a mountain that inside it is full of gold.
Yeah.
And this gold is connected with the spiritual field that exists in this country. Even the level of consciousness of the people dropped. It's not the same as it was 10,000 years ago on the period of Rama, but still the energy exists, you see, and even the population is not aware. The artifacts and the technology, the devices still exist, and some of these causes are actually natural because it was a field of energy that creates the deposits of gold. You see, it's not a technology, it's a spiritual field that creates gold. It's a very revolutionary conclusion, but if we analyze deeper, we can see, we can find correlation, as I said. Okay, let's go to the next slide, please. So, this information is very well spread in Romania. There were some researchers from Russia, from England, that they made some investigations with satellites with a very advanced technology, and they found that under the Sarmisegetuza, the Sarmisegetuza is the capital of Dacia, was the capital of Dacia. And under this capital of Dacia is a city as large as Bucharest. Bucharest is a very big city.
Capital of Romania.
It has almost 4 million people, but there is a structure of tunnels and cavities under Sarmisegetuza that is absolutely huge. And the mountain Orăștie is shaped with terase. I don't know the word in English, Corina. Maybe you can help.
What is it? Terase?
Terasa.
Balcoane?
Yeah, they made some platforms on the mountain from different levels. And you know, it's not so easy to dig with a primitive tool to shape the surface of a mountain. You need a very performant technology.
Yes.
So our ancestors managed to shape a mountain and even to construct buildings in beneath earth. That's why they managed to resist to Romanians. The Dacians were the last that were conquered by Romans. But actually, as I said in the beginning, Dacians was not conquered completely by Dacians. Only 14%, a very small, tiny surface of Dacia. The rest of Dacia remained free.
Yes.
Okay. So let's go to the next.
And we go to the next really fast. And when I went to Sarmisegetuza 2 years ago, actually they're excavating. They're still excavating things, but they had cameras everywhere. Marvin, were you with us? And they were they had guards following us, and we were not allowed. Shoes off. We were not allowed even to sit on that grass, specific places. We literally had guards following us the whole time when we were there. It was like mind-blowing. Like, if you have nothing to hide, why are you blocking off things? And you have guards following and cameras everywhere. Go ahead, Marvin.
And if you are a specialist, you are archaeologist, for instance, and you say, listen, I would like to make searches here with acceptance of your government. They will never allow.
No.
Never. As the same with the pyramids in Egypt.
Yes.
They don't allow anybody to make research there, to dig. So in this image, it's a very concrete evidence of advanced civilization in this field. In the area of Sarmisegetuza, they found a whole complex of network of pipelines. And these pipelines are not made by hand. It's industrial production made from ceramic. I don't know how you say it in English.
Yeah, ceramic.
Ceramic, okay. So these pipelines were very performant. They resisted 7,000 years. They are still actually, you can use it if you clean it. And they resisted so many thousands of years. So this is a proof that they were very advanced.
Yeah.
So in the next slide, please, we can see some nails. But these nails are not ordinary nails. They are very old, thousands of years, and they never rusted.
Wow.
Because they are made for a very pure iron alliage. Actually, it's almost pure iron.
Wow.
What is when material is rusting? It is because it has some impurities that are in the process of oxidation.
Yes.
But this iron is so pure that it was no process of oxidation. And they went with some of these nails at different laboratories in the world, in Moscow, in Europe, in Romania, and they found evidence that it is extremely pure. And not only this, it is a structure, how the metal was modeled, shaped, and it was a high metallurgic technology.
Wow.
You know, it is not like you have a wire and you cut it and it's a nail. No, it was something very, very. Our technology nowadays cannot do this.
Wow.
And we have evidence. This is a spectrogram of this nail, such a nail. And of course, we are not specialized, but I wanted to show you there are articles in our newspapers. And they prove with documents that it was analyzed with. We don't have time to show you.
Yeah.
They went with these nails at different laboratories, and we can see exactly the bulletin of analyze, the paper that shows the result of analyze. Okay, let's go forward. This is a very special piece, artifact. It is completely made by aluminium, and we actually have a short video explaining this artifact. But in few words, this artifact has not only special shape that shows is completely artificial, but the oxide of aluminium is so old that shows that this object has 250,000 years old.
Wow.
You see? So it was an advanced technology in this area of Carpathians. So if you don't believe me, let's watch the movie that we have prepared.
Se împlinesc una dintre cele mai misterioase descoperiri arheologice realizate vreodată în România. Sunt 5 decenii de când arheologii, experți în mistere, specialiști în fizică și chimie încearcă să descifreze misterul călcâiului din Aiud, o relicvă din aluminiu ce a fost datată de acum 250.000 de ani. Este un obiect extraterestru?
Pentru noi este chiar un obiect neidentificat, a cărui funcție nu o cunoaștem și a cărui descoperire este la fel de neclară.
În 1973, constructorii care lucrau la o balastieră pe malul râului Mureș, în apropiere de orașul Aiud, au găsit 3 obiecte neobișnuite la 10 metri sub pământ, care păreau a fi foarte vechi. Arheologii au fost chemați la fața locului și au identificat imediat 2 dintre ele ca fiind fosilele unui mamifer preistoric dispărut în urmă cu peste 100.000 de ani. Dar experții au fost surprinși să constate că al 3-lea obiect era o piesă de metal care părea să fi fost fabricată. Toate cele 3 obiecte au fost trimise spre analiză la Cluj, iar testele au arătat că obiectul neobișnuit sub formă de călcâi sau pană de aproximativ 2 kg era fabricat din 12 metale diferite, compus din 89% aluminiu și urme de cupru, zinc, plumb, cadmiu, nichel și alte elemente. Rezultatele inițiale au fost confirmate ulterior de un laborator din Lausanne, Elveția. Obiectul lung de circa 20 de centimetri, lat de circa 12,5 cm și gros de 7 cm, prezenta 2 goluri cilindrice de diametre diferite, practicate astfel încât golul cu secțiunea mai redusă penetra către baza celuilalt perpendicular. Golul cu diametrul mai mare prezenta în plus o ovalizare a părții sale interioare, ceea ce părea a fi produs de un ax cu capul rotunjit cu care s-ar fi asamblat. Pe suprafața sa inferioară, cât și în lateral, obiectul prezenta urme al unor lovituri repetate, dintre care unele au fost foarte puternice. Toate detaliile remarcate sugerau faptul că piesa a făcut parte cândva dintr-un ansamblu funcțional și că a fost pierdută dintr-un motiv oarecare în albia de atunci a râului, a scris inginerul Florin Gheorghiță în cartea sa Enigme în galaxie, apărută în anul 1983. Cercetările efectuate la Cluj au indicat că oasele găsite au aparținut unui rinocer păros, animal care a trăit într-o perioadă cuprinsă între 10.000 și 80.000 de ani în urmă. Problemele au apărut atunci când s-a încercat datarea călcâiului din Aiud. Faptul că acest obiect ciudat în formă de pană sau de călcâi, depinde de perspectivă, este fabricat din aluminiu, i-a nedumerit pe experți, deoarece aluminiul metalic a început să fie produs abia în 1825. Alți experți care au efectuat teste au avansat date mult mai târzii, variant între 400 și 80.000 de ani, dar chiar și la 400 de ani ar fi totuși cu 200 de ani înainte ca aluminiul să fie produs pentru prima dată. Un aspect cu totul neobișnuit este existența unui strat anormal de oxid de aluminiu pe întreaga suprafață a obiectului. Este știut faptul că acest metal se oxidează foarte greu în profunzime, în mod uzual acoperindu-se cu un strat superficial de oxid protector, care limitează pătrunderea fenomenului de oxidare în masa metalului. Explicația cea mai plauzibilă pare a fi, și din acest punct de vedere, vechimea foarte mare a obiectului.
Mie îmi pare a fi un caz care aparține de o mișcare, se numește OOPART. Out of Place Artifacts, care a devenit foarte prosperă și foarte extinsă odată cu apariția internetului. Deci cumva obiecte care au fost găsite într-un context arheologic neobișnuit.
Misteriosul obiect călcâiul din Aiud este considerat un OPART, acronim pentru Out of Place Artifact, la fel ca zecile de obiecte preistorice găsite în diferite locuri din întreaga lume, care par să prezinte un nivel tehnologic avansat incompatibil cu epoca în care au fost produse. Potrivit adepților teoriei astronauților antici, această bucată din aluminiu ar putea fi de fapt dovada că extraterestrii sunt reali și că au vizitat Pământul în trecutul îndepărtat. Obiectul prezintă concavități care sugerează că a făcut parte dintr-un sistem mecanic mai complex, posibil de origine extraterestră. Gheorghe Cohal, director adjunct al Asociației Ufologilor din România, a declarat că testele de laborator au concluzionat că este vorba de un fragment de ozene antic, deoarece substanțele care îl compun nu sunt compatibile cu tehnologia disponibilă pe Pământ la acea vreme. Istoricul Mihai Wittenberg a încercat să afirme că obiectul este de fapt o bucată de metal de la un avion german din cel de-al doilea război mondial, dar asta nu explică vechimea artefactului. Obiectul metalic este acum expus la Muzeul de Istorie din Cluj-Napoca, având lângă el un panou pe care scrie origine necunoscută.
We don't know what it was used for, and we acknowledge these uncertainties about its dating and its composition as well.
Wow.
So, just a few words about this video, Corina. We saw that Eric von Daniken and David Childress was there to study the object, and actually I saw some other movies made by all the collective of Ancient Aliens, the well-known producers of this serial. So they were very, very interested about this artifact,
Yes.
and you saw they explained that they cannot they cannot put this artifact in official history because it is an out of place artifact. They don't have an explanation for
Yes.
this object should not exist. This
Yeah.
is their opinion.
Yeah.
In our historical theory, there is no place for this object, but it still exists.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny because it is again cognitive dissonance.
Yes, of course. Yes, yes. So Marvin, before we end, what is the what do you want to share with our viewers that are watching now or they will watch later? Why is Romania right now such a huge, it seems like she's under a microscope or a light, that spotlight on her. You know, we saw what happened in the geopolitical atmosphere. We saw how a light worker that the people chose, Mr. Călin Georgescu, you know, they stole the election. They put a moron in his place. So why is such a warfare over Romania stepping into the fullness of her blueprint and everything that she has been entrusted to carry? And you guys, I'm not saying this because I'm Romanian, but Romania is very, very key right now for humanity at this moment in time. That's why there's such a battle over her. So Marvin, to you, as the background that you have studying what you study, a journalist also, you know, you studied so much. Why? What's going on? Why do the people that are watching, why should they care of us discussing Romania and the artifacts and really what she holds? Radu Cinamar's books. Why? Why do they need to hear this?
There are different levels of answering this question. The most superficial one is pretty easy to understand by people, is from geopolitical reasons, because there are some geopolitical principles showing that the eastern part of Europe is very important in order to control the mankind. Alfred Mackinder, for instance, explained this. That's why they want to control Ukraine.
Yep.
But still, there are some other levels of understanding. And the deeper level is from spiritual point of view. But most of the people are not prepared for such explanations. That's why an author like Radu Cinamar preferred to present this information as a novel. But I talked with many esoteric people that they have esoteric knowledge, and they know that Romania has a very special place in the energetic architecture of the planet. And that's why in this part of the world, there are very strange phenomena.
Yes.
And I did not enter into details, but I can give you two more examples. I went with a friend on a place that the gravitation was inversed. I mean, when we were with the car on a hill, he stopped, my friend, he stopped the engine, and the car still climbed the hill, because the telluric currents of energy was, even the water was flowing on the top of the hill. You see, it's not natural. And there is another place pretty well known in Romania, also in Bucegi, when if you are very tired and you arrive there, your energy is getting back very fast.
Yes.
I mean, you can heal yourself very fast by sitting there. And a few days ago, I spoke with a professor, and he was dozens of times in a very special place, which is called the Throne of God. It's a very ancient megalith that has energetic properties. And also, if you stay there few hours, your energy and your health get back. You see, there are a lot of things like, and even people in Romania. I don't want to be, I don't know, to praise myself, because we are the belly of the world and nobody is like us. No, you know, we are perceived as a very poor country. The elections were stolen. We are the last in all classements. I mean, even in Romania, they talk about us that we are so dumb, we are so stupid, we are not able to do anything.
Yeah.
We are a shame for mankind. But of course, this is their narrative in order to get the discouraging, to depression of people.
Yeah.
And this professor, I told you, he told me that there are many other places with special properties. And I was telling you that even the people, there is another professor, Florian Colceag. You met him, Corina.
Yes.
Florian Colceag, he is considered the trainer of genius children, because at least 20 years he trained children with genius potential in mathematics, and they won a lot of prizes in different contests in the world. And he told me that according to researchers, 20% of Romanian children are born with this genius potential. But with vaccination, with school, people get dumb.
Yeah.
And I want to tell you something else. I'm glad that I remember. In 1980s, in the world started to come, to get incarnated, a lot of so-called indigo children, rainbow children, and crystal children. That means children like Cesar Brad, like yourself, Corina, and like many others with paranormal capacities.
Yes.
But the Illuminati, the shadow government, the Freemasonry, because they are behind all the governments of the planet, almost, they took the decision to start the campaign of vaccination.
Yeah.
And, I saw Donald Trump about 2 months ago. I made a TV show with Scotty Sachs. And we discussed in that show that Donald Trump just declared that in 70 years, it was one case in 20,000 children with autism.
Yes.
But nowadays, there is 1 of 10 boys and 1 of 12 girls with autism. So the percentage is absolutely tremendous, outraging.
Yeah.
Why? And even Donald Trump, he admitted it is something artificial. It is not natural. It is because of so-called vaccination. Because with this vaccination, they managed to block the capacities of these very special children with paranormal abilities.
Yes.
So this is what, and Romanians, again, I want to repeat, I don't want to be selfish and to say my nation is the best in the world. No, but Romanians are very much appreciated at NASA, at Microsoft, and in many other countries because they admit that Romanians are pretty smart. I mean, they manage to do a lot of amazing stuff because they can figure how to do it.
Yeah.
You see?
Yes.
And that's why they want Romania to be kept in dark, in powerless, in less power, in powerless. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
And to control it, And they destroyed our industry, agriculture, educational system, medical system, everything.
Yes.
But still, with this president elected, Călin Georgescu, and with others like him, like Cezar Brat and Radu Cinamar. Of course, these are only pseudonyms.
Right.
It's not their real names.
Yes.
But we understand that being optimist is an attitude.
Yes.
It is not an self-delusioning.
Right.
I mean, to be optimist, but with what reason? We have no reason. No. If you are a spiritual person, you are optimist, an optimist.
Yes.
Because being optimist is a resonance with the energy of good. You cannot be sad if you resonate with good energies.
Yes.
You can find solution in every situation.
Yes.
And that's why we trust that Romania will accomplish its spiritual mission, because there are a lot of spiritual people in the world, and they said even 200 years ago, like Sundar Singh, Serafim de Sarov, Baba Vanga, and many others, even here in Romania, and they predicted, they predicted that Romania has and will accomplish a spiritual mission at the planetary level.
Yeah. Yes.
And I hope with the information that I offered in this show, there are some clues in this direction.
Yes. 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 Thank you so much. Again, I want to encourage all of you guys. Again, this is not just about a nation. It's not just about a people. It's about a nation that has a call at a specific time in history. Each nation on the face of this beautiful planet has had or has a blueprint to walk out mandates of that blueprint that it needs to fulfill at a specific time in history. And I've said this last year, I've said it 2 years ago, but specifically last year because of the elections. It's time for Romania, because the mysteries and the history that this nation holds for you, for me, for humanity is huge. So, Marvin, thank you so much for bringing this awesome information. We're going to have you back to discuss more about it. And by the way, you guys, Nashville Disclosure, October 16th and 17th of 2026. Marvin will be one of the speakers who will bring much more information and deeper insight into who you are, who we are, and everything that we as humanity are here to do. Marvin, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you very much, Corina. And thank you for your audience, for the patience to hear such a long show, 2 hours.
No, it was wonderful. Thank you guys for watching. I love you. Until next time, please remember who you are. Walk without fear into the fullness of who you are. Until next time, bye-bye.
Thank you.